So I made it back down to the falls with the boys, and I'm trying to catch someone to be able to send out a message to let the wife and other people know what's going on, to see if I can figure things out. But it's one of those days that's super cold, and I don't want to futz with a fire, so I had a fire starting tip for you guys that I wanted to share. These are feminine hygiene pads, menstrual pads, period pads. So before the wife left, we were separating the alcohol into smaller bottles, into a smaller bottle, and there was still a bit left, and I had the idea to take some of her pads and soak them in alcohol. Now, it would be a really good thing if I had a bad puncture wound or a bad slice that was bleeding really bad. I could open one of these up, slap it on there, and tape it in place. But also, it makes a really great fire starter. So I wanted to share that with you guys and show you how well it works. Back at my pretty fire pit. But see, just a pad. And I'm gonna drop it in there. Might stand it up. I'm gonna throw some of these across, like so. And give her a light. Bam. If I can hit the other side. Not light my glove on fire. Bam. So now I won't have to mess with it. It won't be dealing with birch bark. It won't be if it will start. It started, and it'll burn. So, quick little fire start for you guys. Stay tuned. So when it comes to survival, and being a survivalist, it's not just about having skills, having equipment, or going through experiences. It's also about having the mental fortitude and the wisdom to know when it's time to get yourself out of a situation. Understanding when a situation is no longer survivable. And that's where I'm at. This situation is no longer survivable. I will not be able to survive with the dogs on this hike. Not anymore. Not with the weather, not with the gear I need for this weather, and not without the ability to resupply in each town so I can minimize how much I have. Right now I've got like 3 weeks worth of dog food on me, and I've got about a month's worth of my food-ish. I could ration it and last a month. But that's going to slow me down. So it's a double-edged sword. I have enough to survive, but it's going to make it take longer. So that's why this isn't going to work. That's why I can't continue on this path and survive, because it's just too much. The weather turned way too fast. I took way too long. We wasted a lot of time. We should have been moving much more, much faster. So, it's our fault. It's my fault that we started in the wrong trail. It's our fault that we had way too much from the beginning. We took way too long to cut down. And we weren't able to move everything fast enough. That's just what it is. So unfortunately, I have to try to figure something else out. Hopefully by the time this uploads, I will have already figured something out. Because I can't leave camp. Not without the dogs. So unless I'm going to walk them down into town to get Wi-Fi, no one's going to pick me up hitchhiking if I got 2 dogs. Not to mention the second they start barking at them, they'll be like, oh, I don't want them in my car if they're just going to bark. Well, they do that with everybody. You just got to give them a minute. Like, ran across, I think you said Larry? Yeah, Larry on the trail. He was heading up to his camp up by Rock Lake, and I was heading down, and the boys saw him at a distance. He had a gun across his shoulders, and he was wearing orange. I don't know what it is. The boys don't like the color orange. I swear they're not colorblind, or at least that's a shade they don't like. And they don't like it when somebody has a gun. I don't know. I can have a gun, I can wear orange, I can wear hats, but when it's other people, they're really super sketch about it. So they were barking at him, and I pulled them off to the side of the trail, got them to sit next to me, got them to quiet down. They barked, they growled, they barked, they growled, and then when he and I started talking, after a minute, I had to shush them a couple of times, but after a minute, they just sat there and looked at him. He's like, oh, Dad's talking. Oh, Dad's cool with it. Okay. And they were totally fine. And that's all it takes. They just have to know that the person's okay. They seem much less protective now that the wife isn't around. They know Dad can take care of their own. And they look to me for protection. But they were protective of the wife. She's mom. They needed to protect her. So, but it's not like I can go down in town and get picked up. No one's gonna pick up a guy with 2 dogs, and it's gonna be a long walk just to get Wi-Fi to try to figure things out. So it's a really unfortunate situation I'm in right now. I can't leave, but I can't stay. So I'm trying to catch somebody as they're going down to give them a phone number and have them get a message out. And yeah, hopefully get us out of here. I don't have any other options. I don't know. See, the water's flowing, but it's still freezing. And when I got this water, there wasn't any ice in it. But now there's frozen chunks. That's how fast it's freezing. I only got that like 20 minutes ago, not even. And you can see the icicles under the rocks and all along there. Even with that kind of flow. That's how freaking cold it is. So, I'm taking the options that I have to try to get us out of this situation because it's no longer survivable. When I got up there to Rock Lake, it's like 2.5 miles up. It doesn't seem like much, but at the same time, I went up maybe 400 or 500 feet in elevation. And I'm already high enough that that bit of elevation changed the whole climate. I'd break up the dog's water and it would start freezing. My water bottle was frozen solid. I had to warm it up over the fire. My coffee froze. So it's just, everything was freezing way too fast, way too quickly. There was frost on the ground. We were covered in frost when I woke up. So it's like, my gator was frozen this morning. even with my hot breath going into it, the moisture in my breath let it freeze. It was freezing around the edges. It's actually only just now thawing out. Down here, some of the moving water that's not moving too fast is freezing. I'll show you guys that. But there's icicles on the falls, and they're calling for, what I think he said, 4 to 8 inches tonight of snow. Great. So I'm getting a fire going. I'm getting something to eat because I haven't eaten yet today. I had everything broken down into 2 trips, just because I was afraid my bag would actually fail, would rip and fail, if I had everything strapped to it, plus I could barely get to my feet. So, fortunately, I had to break it down into 2 trips. And I wasn't thinking, the second trip was most of my cooking gear, and my medical supplies, my shovel, and my electronics. Battery chargers and stuff for this. So when I got up there, yeah, I had all my food, had all the dog's food, had all the dog stuff. Didn't have any way to cook it. So I took hot rocks and I boiled, well, warmed up, didn't boil, some water in a bag, and poured some coffee grounds in it, poured some instant milk in there and some sugar, and there we go. That was my coffee. It was lukewarm at best and only for a minute. And my aunt had given me some beef stew in a foil pouch, and I tore it open and leaned it up against the log that was burning. It had a heat tunnel underneath it, so it warmed it up on its side. And then I just flipped it around a couple of times. So, yeah. I hadn't eaten yet. And I took this hike down. My blood sugar got low, but I have some packs of raisins in the side pouch that's on the belt strap for my bag. I was able to snack on those a little bit. It got me through. I had to take like 10 breaks. I couldn't believe it. Like every 100 yards, every 200 yards, I'd have to sit on a log, prop up the bag, cinch it tighter because it just kept going loose. That's how heavy it was. I can't keep having the bag that heavy because it's pulling at the seams. I can see it. But so I just can't do this. It's just not going to work. So we've got some snow coming in. He was right, 4 to 8 inches. Easily. Get back under the tent, the tarp, Snow Dog. He can reach right underneath, right in bed with me, just like Creature is. Why are you such a snow dog? Though Dad's out in the snow, I'm gonna be out in the snow. So this is my shelter. The tarp is all like stretched from the rain bowing it, but it should do all right. As the weight's building in certain spots, it slides down, and I'll be up periodically to check it. This is just the best option I got. So I've already got a nice pile of snow going. So, see how it goes. Stay tuned. So how do you have a fire in the middle of snow? You build it a house. There we go. I had to use one in the back to prop it up. It gives it shelter from the snow. Doesn't work as well for rain, but then I built the fire underneath. It'll go up and it'll be a long burn fire. And everything will collapse down onto itself the way I have it formed. Should keep me warm all night. Stay tuned. So the situation is no longer survivable, so I have to figure out something else. But that's part of survival, that's part of being a survivalist, is knowing when it is no longer survivable. Probably should have realized it a bit sooner. But you live and you learn. Hopefully you live. Hopefully I live. But still gonna try to figure out something. Still gonna try to get down to the world's largest pizza party with Eric and the world's largest pizza. But now he's having one in New York City, LA, and I'm hoping he's going to announce that he's doing one in Georgia, Atlanta, because he's been talking about that this whole time. In his hometown, it makes sense. Have your party in your hometown. But we'll see. So we survived the night. My fire didn't burn all the way down, but now I'm doing a different tactic. Just drying rack with the center fire. Making some rice and some chicken. Had some bacon for breakfast. Thanks again, Jake. Appreciate it. But me and the boys in the shelter, we survived. I had to get up every 40 minutes and check this out, knock it off, and make sure there wasn't too much buildup. I had a ridge line with some Prusik knots on it. I don't normally do that. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. Storm ended mid-morning, so I got up 6 and actually got up for the final time and made some coffee, made some bacon, and then went back to sleep because I didn't have to wake up. So the storm was past, there wasn't going to be any buildup, so I just took a few hours nap. Probably close to like 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe 9. And I didn't wake up till 2 when the hunter went through. So now I'm ready to make dinner and go to bed. This is exhausting, gotta say that. I'm tired. Was not prepared for the storm. I only found out about it like 2 hours before it hit. So yeah, awesome. It's hard to gauge when snow's coming. Yeah, there's a huge pile of snow back there. But we stayed warm. The boys cuddled me on either side. They have their own blankets that they got wrapped in. I stayed fully dressed because I knew I was going to have to get up tonight. As long as it doesn't snow, I'm getting in my jammies, curling up with the boys, and I am sleeping all night long. So, dinner's almost done. Catch you guys in a bit. You know, I always forget to record things this whole time. Like, there's so much throughout the day that happens, and so much that I do, and it's, I never think to actually record. You guys get like 1/10 of what happens out here. I gotta learn how to get better at catching everything. But it's been a lot these past couple of days. I went up to Rock Lake and hiked up there at night, and then spent the night there, and then hiked back down. First thing in the morning, I boiled rocks in bags, or I boiled water in bags with hot rocks just to get a warm drink of grinds and water. And came back down, and the boys were tugging me along the whole way, and I did that with a full pack on. I still didn't have everything I needed. The problem is I need so much food because I'm expecting to have to go for so long without resupplies that I'm carrying too much weight. It would have been like a trip and a half. The problem is even though I couldn't carry that last half bit, I felt like my bag was going to fail. So many times, it's just too much weight on the bags. I can carry it, but it's slow. But I'm still missing like 15 pounds, and that's like 15 pounds to failure. I can't pick it up. It'll rip if I do. It's the last bit. It's literally the straw is breaking the camel's back, and I can't figure out how to cut it down. I'm gonna try one more time and see what the wife thinks. And we'll see from there. It's my last moment, my last ditch effort. I'm gonna see if I can figure something out, or I don't know, honestly. But here's our fire for the night. I'm gonna get some water boiling. Well, some slush. I'm gonna get some slush boiling. And I have some hot cocoa, courtesy of Alex. Thank you. Thanking my brother from across the water. Awesome dude. And gonna get some water boiled up and have some chocolate. Hot chocolate that was tablets. Hot chocolate tablets. What is it? Abuelita. That's right. Abuelita chocolate. Grandma's hot chocolate. Oh, it'd be good. And I'm just hovering over the fire before I get that going. But that's what I was trying to say is I always forget to actually press record and show you guys things. And this is a perfect example. I almost was getting ready to do this, and then I was like, you know what? This actually would be a pretty cool moment to catch. I'm going to fill that up with some slush, water, and boil it. Things we do out here. It's getting rough. The boys are nice and warm though. They're curled up in there. I've been checking their temperatures on their ears. They've been doing good. Creature is stealing my pillow. Monster stealing the blanket. Stay tuned. So for now, till next time, get out there, be a native, go beast.